Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash, trending news and entertainment.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and welcome to Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
Yes.
Love having you here. Great show set up. We're going to be talking about Guy Fieri, you know, the diners and drive-thru guy.
Yes.
He's going to be going through a lot more drive-thrus.
Yeah, less moving.
Yeah, less moving
about
altogether.
something that happened to him on the set of his new show.
Well, big stuff there. So watch out for that. Then we're going to talk about that coming up in just a few moments as well. And today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
Yeah, we have to check in with our social media guy, James Alexander. He's in the flashback room. James, what you got? What's our question of the day?
Hey, what's going on here?
I'm hanging out with my new friend, DOG. And what'd you say, DOG?
DOG.
Oh, okay, DOG. All right. DOG says the question of the day is, what's a smell that instantly takes you back? DOG, what'd you say? Oh, Firehouse Subs. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I'm hungry too. Hey, Matt, if anybody wants to comment on this, where should DOG send them?
They can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Send us your smell that brings you back to nostalgia. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. That's an interesting question there. Like, subscribe, do all that. You know what I miss, and we're based here in Orlando, the Merita bread smell
company.
when you hit that turn on I-4.
How do you miss that, man?
That was. You just knew you were almost home.
I'm dropping everything. It was right around the corner.
On I-4.
Yeah, I-4, and you'd smell it all the time, and it was a delicious.
We have Publix here in the South, and anytime they start doing their fried chicken,
when
can
it
smell
wafts
it in
out.
the parking lot, and
Yep.
it's like I feel like one of those kids in the Pied Piper. I'm like, where is it? Let me go buy the
We joke
breaded
all the time
chicken.
about it's as bad as Cinnabon at the airport. You can smell it from anywhere. Right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
very true.
Good stuff there. All right, let's
Okay.
jump into some things happening around the world here.
Yeah, let's talk about this new trend. It's called going phone sober. Now, we've talked about this before, like when you're flying without tech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
When
is
you
the
raw
name of that?
dogging it?
Raw dogging it.
Raw
Yeah,
dogging
you're
it,
raw
right.
dogging it. So phone sober is the new term for walking without your cell phone.
Okay.
Gaining in popularity as more people look to take a break from their mobile devices. It really does make sense. Beyond burning calories, the experts say it can improve your heart health, manage your blood sugar, perhaps even reduce dementia. Walking delivers significant mental health benefits, and so does taking a break from your phone. So it's kind of a double dose. Research shows walking can lower stress, anxiety, lift mood, enhance sleep, even boost your self-esteem, the opposite of what doom scrolling on your mobile phone does to your mood. Being more present was another major benefit of going phone sober. The people who they studied said they were more aware of their surroundings. Lack of stimulation can be awkward at first, but finding new solutions like something called color walks. You pick a color, try to spot as many objects.
Okay.
Kind of like an I Spy sort of thing.
Right, like the billboard letter sign. Okay.
Yes,
I can see
exactly.
that. That's a good idea.
And people who took part in this said they felt more awake. They were not anymore just a passive observer, but they felt more connected to nature. And when they were out walking, they felt 100% better.
I love that idea. I never have thought about that. Find a color and see how many things you can find.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because, even as you mentioned there, as you get older, that's one thing most of us can do, right?
Yeah.
And we've done it, just walking around, going to things. And it does so much for your metabolism and sleep.
Yeah.
Is actually a big thing. And we're not walking as much anymore.
Yep.
People aren't sleeping the same. I'm certain there's a
true.
correlation.
I like the idea of going without a phone. I mean, I've done dog walks a million times over, and I try and use my AirPods, and I take my phone. But the days
It's
that
your
I
favorite
don't,
smell, isn't it, by the way? The dog walk?
the dog walks. But there's been a
James walking his dog.
Yeah, he is. But there have been a couple days where I've left the house without the phone. It's the weirdest feeling. Like you feel kind of naked and helpless, but then I'm walking and I'm like, I never knew that house was there. There's a tree. Like you just notice so much more stuff.
Especially since your watch will tell you that you forgot your phone.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, no, wait, no, I got my watch, but I don't have my phone. And now it's telling me I have to go get the thing with the thing. Like,
Then the watch doesn't work unless you've got the phone in your
right,
bag.
you got to get it all connected.
Which shows us a lot that, as any teenager will tell you, they have to have their phone with them all the time.
Yeah.
It goes to show you don't.
No.
At all. So you could, guess what? Life will move on and that sort of thing. I kind of take it as, when you're in a passenger seat, when somebody else is driving, you notice more.
Yes.
And so, because you're not concentrating on one thing, and if you're concentrating on your phone the entire time, there's a whole world out there.
Well, and I know we've talked about this before, but if I'm sitting on the couch and my iPad or my phone is nearby and I'm starting to watch a movie, if I don't close them down and I start watching it, I'll miss half the movie. And then I'll go back and watch it and I'm like, I had no idea what was going on. And that makes me realize how much of a distraction the phone or the iPad is.
And we're the same people that will go just walking across the street without looking on their phone.
Yes.
We all do it.
Yes, of
maybe
course.
just not to that extent or whatever. But it goes to show you that it's so much can help us. Technology can help us.
Yeah.
But it takes away so much other. So you have to have that good balance between the two. And I think things like just saying, you know what, I am going to take a walk. I am going to leave it home. I'm not going to worry so much about it. And my phone, if they can't get a hold of me, it must.
Too bad.
If I need to get a hold of my wife right now, there is a way I can do it.
Of course.
No matter if she doesn't have her phone with her, she's at the house. I can go and we have the Google, so I can broadcast through the entire house. So there's a way I can do it.
Oh wow!
Right?
Can you do that right now? Can we prank her?
Yeah.
You can find a million ways to get in touch.
I have a
with people.
speaker outside too because her office is by the pool, and so But whenever I make an announcement, it goes in even our neighbors hear everything. So
I love this. Well, speaking of getting a phone, what do you think is the proper age to give a kid a phone? Some people are saying 14, 15, 16, you should wait that long. Some people give phones to kids as early as age 4, 5, 6.
I think having 4 kids, if they all have their own different personalities, and if I had to be able to go do it again, I would have to say, because there's one that I would have given to them a lot earlier than the other one because their responsibility. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
but then it's, that's not fair, so I never did.
Right.
I would say it does go per child, individual, because I think if you set an age, they work their way up to that. It's like, well, I'm almost 16. When can I have it? As well. And James, your kids, are they already asking for phones, or do they have them?
Yeah, so we did things a little bit different. So iPad first, then at 13, each kid got their own phone.
Okay.
So, but it came with a lot of restrictions as far as how long they could use it, the apps that they can put on the phone, and retrack everybody.
Which, by the way, if your kid ever says that and you go, well, when you start paying for the phone and it's yours and it's in your name, then I don't have to track you. But that's my phone right there, and I want to know where it's at all the time. So and again, there's nothing wrong with that age. That's what you've established, and if you think your child is responsible enough to do it, then okay, 13 is the age to go. I was right around that age when I gave my kids were that age when I gave them their own phone as well.
What about though limiting like Facebook, social media? To me, like I feel like that has to be a conversation you have to before you give over the phone.
You have to do that. And also with that, and go to let them know, because we have that for Enzo, is that we know how much time he's spending. We can turn it off at certain times, and he can't download any apps
that you're aware of.
True. But anytime it goes through, it'll say, "Hey, he wants to download this. You want him?" And I can say yes or no. And then the next thing is that if you can set up your phone to where they can't add new phone numbers.
Oh.
And they can't call different phone numbers.
That's a good one.
Ask permission
that
from me.
is a good one.
They have to, me or Eliza will have to give permission to Enzo to call a number that is not in his phone book. So I feel a little safer about that.
Okay.
And also, I think kids now, they're growing up technology that goes, well, my parents, they know where I'm at all the time anyway. So I have no problem with them tracking me.
For me, it was definitely, granted, I'm a younger or older generation at this point. Mine was when I finally got a car and was driving around. My mom wanted to make sure I had a cell phone.
Okay,
for emergencies and whatever else would, whatever stuff I got into, at least I had a cell phone with me.
Which that makes sense.
Somebody I heard talking about this the other day said that she is offering to give her son, let's say if he waits until he's 18, 19, 20, for every year he waits, she'll, like for instance, if he waits until he's 17 to get social media, she'll give him $1,700. If he waits until he's 18, he'll give her $1,800. So, she's trying to push off him getting on social media as long as possible. He can have the phone, he just can't have social media. So she's attempting to incentivize him having the phone without going down these dark avenues of social media.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Would that work in every instance? Maybe not, but that's part of the kid. You got to know, and that's everything you have to think about before handing them over this $1,000 device that is going to give them access to everything if you don't set it up right. All right, your thoughts, flash@dailyflash@show.com. We're not done yet with this hour at all. No way, we just kicked it off. That means it's time for our Daily Flash Brain Flash question of the day.
How many teeth do adult humans usually have? The answer coming up next.
All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Before we went to break, we asked that question, our Brain Flash question. How many teeth do humans usually have? Well, you're supposed to have 32. You come into this world with none, and then you grow 32, unless you're Freddie Mercury. He had 4 extra ones, so he had 36. And I learned Jackson actually had extra teeth. How many extra teeth did you have?
I had 3 extra
you
teeth.
You had 3 extra. You're just like Freddie Mercury.
3, but they pulled them. I wish they hadn't.
I know, me too. She's got a great smile, even bigger one. All right, if your love life or relationship needs a little bit of help, you definitely need to hear this. Our next guest is a host of the award-winning podcast, Dear Future Wifey. And he's called The Relationship Whisperer by fans all across the globe. He's got a new book out. It's titled Student of Love, Your Guide to Discover, Uncover, and Recover Healthy Relationships. His name, Letarius R. Whitfield, and guess what? He is here on Daily Flash. How are you, Letarius?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, fantastic. You got to be doing good because, happy wife, happy life, right? So, if you want to be happy, you got to make sure everybody in the relationship's happy. But let's talk about that. What is the number one thing you have to tell people who are actually looking for a life partner?
So love isn't about finding the right person. It's about becoming the right person. I often tell people, become the person that you're praying for. Student of Love is not about discovering love. It's about developing the person that can manifest the love in your life. And so I always say, if you want to be a student of love, then if you struggle in the area of communication, then become a student of communication. If you want to become more emotionally intelligent and you want to attract that kind of love, then focus on your own emotional intelligence. So I always say, become the love that you're trying to manifest in your life.
Yeah, and it seems like if you do that, you are going to find the right person, and the yin and yang of a relationship will work itself out afterward. That is very good. I'm going to start using that. I really appreciate that, actually. Let's talk about, say there's married couples, and listen, there's some that are watching the show right now, married couples, and they might be in a little bit of a slump, and the first thing you think of is like, is this going to lead to divorce and that sort of thing? What's your advice to them? What would you give to those married couples that might be questioning, are we really compatible?
I don't believe that slumps are a sign of failure. I believe that they're signals to reconnect. A lot of times we're always willing to just throw away the baby with the bathwater. Yeah. But I always say, take a moment to reconnect. Go back and revisit the reason why you married that person in the first place. Go revisit those old memories. Schedule intentional time to reconnect. Pray together. Just have conversations. And I believe that people evolve in relationships. The person that you married 5 years ago is not the same person that you're married to today. So take that time to reconnect and learn the new version of that person.
You're 100% right. And going into the relationship, you have to know, I'm going to change, you're going to change, where we're going to find each other. Let's change together, and let's help each other change. And I can appreciate that. We're out looking for, let's say, a future mate. Where's the best place to find them? I mean, are we talking on dating apps, Starbucks, Home Depot, the fruit section of the supermarket? Where's the best place?
Listen, I say cast your net wide. Use every source of technology that you have. Yes, I believe in dating apps. I believe in meeting people wherever you do life. So whether it's working, if they don't have situations in your job where you can't, date on people in your job, but they allow that, then do that. The place that you spend the most time, I believe that you can naturally connect with somebody, create hobbies. But first, get out the house. A lot of times people are trying to meet people, but they're staying in the house. Unless you're meeting the Amazon delivery driver or the Uber Eats driver, then that's what you're relegating your dating life to. But get out, go enjoy stuff, go take trips, and become a person that's approachable. When you're out and about in this world, say hi, smile. A smile goes a long way.
It's interesting too, because if you smile at somebody, you're not down here on the phone, and you will stand out, right? Because that's where everybody's at these days, and they're not looking at that, or they're looking at themselves in the mirror and that sort of thing. I want to talk about this. Should you go somewhere, let's say you're a religious person, should I say, well, if I'm religious, I need to find my person at my church, because, and just limit myself to that? But to me, it seems like, wait a minute, you go back to change, shouldn't we find some core things? Or am I wrong on that?
No, I believe that wherever it is, I remember when I was younger, I said, I'm gonna meet my wife at church. I didn't meet my wife at my wife at church. I met my wife while I was doing a play. I was actually doing a play called The Marriage. And so my ex-wife I met doing a play.
Nice.
I just got married, 10 days ago?
Oh.
10 days ago. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. See, now I'm a left-hand ring wearer.
I don't know what this means without mine has many rings.
And so I met my current wife doing my podcast at a church. And so it was so cool, but I always believe that you can meet your partner in purpose, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever it is that you find enjoyable in your life, then you'll have a natural connection with that person.
Yes, and that's more or less what I was leading up to, and that sort of thing, is because you'll always have that, and you say go back to what you did, and you have that in common, and you can work on it. And I love seeing those couples that, they have, they're still involved in where they had met and what they're doing. And it shows something to the kids, is that, hey, look, we're a team, we're working together. There's so much more that you're able to do. In your book, I'm sure there's more advice. Quickly give us a brief synopsis of what we'll find inside.
In The Student of Love, you'll find, again, we're looking for love, but we have to become the love that we desire. And so I give tips to unlearn some things that we've been taught. We've been taught some toxic things as far as love is concerned. Like even when you start off, you say a happy wife, happy life. That's an ideology that we've grown accustomed to as a cool little cliche, but that hasn't worked. You'll find a man that may be deprived in the marriage and say, I'm making this wife happy. And what is happiness anyway? Is happiness meeting the needs and desires of that person every time they have it? Or is it, I like to relegate happiness to joy?
Congratulations on everything. Check out the podcast. Get the book. Studentoflove.com is the website. Thanks for joining us today.
Down in the studio, the bright lights all gleam, despite the entire control room sharing the same holiday dream. The wires were tangled, half the scripts were torn, and that shirt Mitch chose, yeah, it should never be worn. Andrea was rapping, unwrapping, then rapping once more, muttering,
if I lose this tape again, I am walking out that door.
Through the holiday mayhem and rituals and routines, the Flash crew kept rolling like festive machines.
So if your holiday chaos gets crazy like level 143,
just tune us right in. We're on your TV.
May your chaos stay merry. From your friends at Daily Flash.
Why do they think I'm more bald than I actually am? And I have. I love it. Sales of instant coffee have actually spiked 20% in the last quarter. It's the Gen Z and millennial crowd actually stirring it up. However, there's a new recent study suggests a link between instant coffee and eye health, which was not found in brewed coffee, regular or decaf. Instant coffee became popular in the early 20th century. It's been a staple in American households for decades, and more than likely, everybody has instant coffee. I'm gonna tell you why. You have people over, and you're like, all right, well, I don't really drink coffee, but you have that coffee out there for them if you don't normally drink coffee or whatever. Right?
I've noticed it more in stores, like Costco sells a Nescafe, but it's of course the giant version of it, and I just didn't realize how popular it was, and it's becoming like the go-to coffee trend for most people. I guess because it's quick, it's easy, you can easily manage the flavor of it for yourself, so you know how much to put in, and a little water, more water.
And those little sachets are usually, they're the perfect amount. Like sometimes when you're making coffee, you don't know how to make it. But I think it goes back to just being on the go. Mm-hmm. You always have hot water and that sort of thing. You can get hot water just pretty much anywhere in most places. Yeah. So my mom used to drink something called Pero. Did you ever hear of Pero? And basically, I remember she had this tub, because she didn't drink coffee a lot. And I think it was like a coffee alternative or something, but it was instant. And that thing, I swear, I think she bought it when I was like 6. Had it until at least I was, 25. Because all you took was one little thing out, and she didn't drink coffee that often. But it's coming back now. I doubt if it was It's just powders. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Because what was there something called Sanka?
Sanka, yes,
Was
Sanka.
it like was that a decaf? But it was an instant coffee.
It was an
wasn't
instant
it?
coffee.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So there you have it. And now they've gotten so advanced, and I don't even know if there's a huge difference, but they sell the iced version versus the hot version.
Yeah.
So
Seen that
anyway,
as well.
a moment in nature moved one man to tears. He shared video of his emotional reaction after finding a super rare flower. His sobbing followed a 10-year search for a rare blooming beauty in Sumatra, Indonesia. The flower hunter had to take a few moments as his emotions got the best of him. After the discovery, the rare species is a giant red flower that experts say has been seen more by tigers than by the human eye. Now, according to the Post, the team actually trekked for several days, several nights through a tiger-patrolled area of the Sumatran rainforest to find what they call the Holy Grail of the botanical world. There it is.
That is cool.
It is neat.
And okay, when you first said he started breaking down crying, I'm like, dude, come on. But 10 years of your life trying to find something.
Looking for this flower.
I remember like finding a pair of pants that fit me perfectly.
And then, did you
I broke
cry?
down and cried.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
sob?
broke down and just cried.
I don't blame you.
Sobbed like a baby the first time I found one. So really cool. All right, so we'll give him a pass on
Yeah,
that. Don't
and that
cry.
flower looked really
That
cool.
is a neat, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Guy Ferrari. He's actually going to be in a wheelchair recovering from what he calls a quad explosion.
Oof.
That's nothing to eat either. The
No.
Food Network star said he tore his quad muscle in half after falling down a set of steps, rather. He recently described what happened during an interview, and he said that he was rushing to surgery when his muscle didn't recede. Oh, can you imagine the pain of that? He also said that he was in the middle of taping his new show. It's called Flavortown Food Fight. When he fell. Guy says his injury will keep him off his feet for a couple of months. Popular foodie will rely on his sons to do all the cooking for Christmas. So, all right, he must have a lot of trust when a cook allows others to do the cooking for him.
right.
And this is a guy that has a high energy, is always moving around.
Always on the go. Yeah, so we wish him well. Officials in Wisconsin announced they've found a very unique discovery. The Historical Society has uncovered a parking lot of canoes underwater in Lake Mendota. They say one canoe predates the pyramids of Giza, believe it or not. Yet one of the oldest canoes they found can be traced back 5,200 years, while another one dates back to 1300 AD. Experts at the Wisconsin Historical Society say the vessels were likely used to catch fish and make travel more efficient for trade.
So they probably were parked there, high tide came in, something happened, and they all sank all together. That or what was it? You burn your bridges like a lot of conquerors would sink their boats.
Or leave you trapped in a
So you
specific...
have to move on. But could that be the case? Who knows?
I don't know, but
that is neat. They're all together, right?
Yeah,
All
isn't that interesting?
Canoes are just amazing to me. First off, just like somebody thought, well, this log floats. Why don't we just cut out and just in the middle of it? Just how we live and have evolved.
I'm just so fascinated about how they're able to date all of this stuff. Like, how do they know?
Right? And they might be off by 20 years or 30 years. Who knows?
Who knows?
Wait a minute, that's mine. I left it in there.
5,200 versus 5,500
Big
years.
difference, yeah.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash, trending news and entertainment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with our stations across the nation. Matt Doolittle, who is watching us out there?
They are watching us up in the UP, and sweet baby James knows all about this place. Alpena, Michigan, and WBKB. The UP is a beautiful place of the country that I don't think a lot of people have visited, but you definitely need to go check it out. 219 affiliates across the country, and you can head to dailyflashshow.com, click where to watch, and you can send that to your friends and family.
There you go. Very cool stuff. Thank you so much. All right, there's surveys out everywhere, and I thought we'd kind of do some surveys and kind of getting to know each other here, and then you at home see if you kind of go along with this. You're welcome to play along, but as always, no wagering. at all. So surveys that have gone out that, things that it's weird. Some people like this, some people like that. I thought we'd get to know a little about each other.
Okay.
Kind of pick out. First off, our first survey out, coffee or tea? Who do you think won? Who has more of this? Coffee or tea? We'll start off with this. What survey says, you think more people drink coffee, more people drink tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. What say you, Maddie?
100% coffee.
All right, number 1 is coffee. Number 2, what say you, James?
Hey, I'm going to say tea.
Tea. Because if you think about, I guess like in London and stuff.
Sure.
Yep. And then control room, number 1 is coffee, number 2 is tea. What do y'all's vote? They're all saying, all right, we got some say coffee, we got 2 say tea. Well, believe it or not, 67% choose coffee over tea.
Okay.
All right, now you see where we're headed with all this.
I mean, how many coffee shops
Here's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Something I never thought about. When you put ketchup on your plate and you have French fries, put it on the side or on top of the fries. We'll start off with Jackson.
Side
says,
on the side.
Okay.
For sure.
Side.
Side. James?
On top of it, man, you need extra space for more fries. Put it on the side.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then control room, 1 is on the side, 2 is on top. Are you guys the tops? Where's our top?
The bottoms.
All right, there you go. Everybody says on the side.
On the side.
When I was younger, I was more like
AJ,
James.
right here. There you go.
Wait, I
There you
can't
go.
see it. I can't. When I was younger, I always put it on top, and I find myself now putting it on the side,
On
and
the
I'm
side,
a little bit more
100%.
cultured. All right.
Yeah.
Out of that, 79% say they put it on side, so side wins on that.
Because you can control the distribution of it.
Yes.
Control the
But I think
distribution.
that's the whole thing, like a nachos cheese, you know?
Yeah.
It's you get some that has like a big old chunk of something, and that's your prize, and next one you get nothing.
I don't like, I've found I don't like ketchup as much as I used to.
I've noticed that as well. I had a homemade recipe. You guys like Catalina French Catalina dressing?
Sure.
All right. I found a recipe, and I was like, this sounds great. Main ingredients, ketchup in it.
Oh my
And I don't
God.
like Catalina
Ketchup.
French anymore because of that. I
it's
put it on
ketchup.
pizza. It's awesome. You should try it. All right. Here's our next question. Should you brush your teeth before or after breakfast? Before or after breakfast?
After
Jackson
breakfast.
says after. What say you?
It's always
Maddie?
after, because otherwise your waffles are going to taste like toothpaste.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And what say you, James?
I'm saying the after.
After. 1 is before, 2 is after. Control room says they're all.
brush your-
Hero is 1. The same goes with.
It's split, 50-50.
It is split, and then Keegan says before or after. As far as the survey goes, 64%. And to what you're saying, I think you're right. Yeah, you got.
You know what?
crap in
You don't want your coffee tasting like
Like-
your toothpaste.
Yeah.
There is nothing worse than brushing your teeth than drinking orange juice.
Oh, or gum.
Or gum, and it falls apart.
No,
yeah.
I don't.
I know you don't chew gum,
ain't
yeah.
messing. Finally, big question: morning showers or evening showers? You asked this question the other day.
Yes.
Which one do you do?
Morning.
Morning?
It would be mine.
Evening shower. I want that stink off me before I go to bed.
That's a good point.
By the way, Matt is going to be on a show called Evening Showers. Believe it or not. James, yours? doesn't
I
mean
do
anything.
both, and I use a washcloth. I'm sorry.
not a-
and so,
Oh, that's a good question. All
That's
right,
a
control
really
room. 1 is morning, 2 is evening. Quickly. They're taking a shower right now. 1 says morning. I'm a morning person
Half
as
of
well.
them don't shower anyway.
Okay. Taylor and Sean say both.
But they do
They do
both.
1 and 2.
If
Yeah.
I need some sleep, I'll take 1 at night.
I like it.
More Flash coming up after this.
Today on the See What During, we're celebrating the final season of Stranger Things, and I have singer-songwriter Lamal. You know him from Kaja Gugu and also from The Never Ending Story, and I can't wait to dig into his story. Check it out. Meteoric rise right out of the gate. Your first single off of your first album, Too Shy, and it just took off, and they couldn't keep up with the demand.
Yeah, so they were selling at its peak, at #1 in the UK, 35,000 copies a day.
Wow.
And the pressing plant just couldn't keep up. When it was hot, it was hot.
Everything is going to be okay, Courtney. Everyone is still coming. No one is going to miss Kaja f***ing Gugu and their one-hit single.
The one-hit wonder. I mean, how do you feel about that moniker? Because I don't agree with that at all.
I can see why in America they might say that. I prefer the term one-hit wonderful
Yes, so do I. I like that.
I'm actually a one-hit wonder twice. How cool is that? I've got the huge hit with Kajagoogoo and then the huge hit as a solo artist, so no complaints from me.
Lamal, it's hard enough to get a song in one major pop culture phenomenon. You, my friend, got two. You got it in '84 with this incredible movie, The Never-Ending Story, and then how many years later, all of a sudden, it lands in one of the biggest streaming shows ever, in my opinion, Stranger Things.
You know, getting a call in 1983, 84, getting a call to work with the legendary music producer Giorgio Moroder would be like an actor getting a call today from Steven Spielberg.
Right.
You know, but I joke, I say no, if I'd known that night how important Never-Ending Story as a track would become in my life, I probably would have gone to bed earlier. I was out night clubbing, smoking cigarettes, getting drunk. I nearly missed the flight the next morning.
Reach the stars, fly a fantasy.
The Stranger Things version, it shows the magnitude of the song in pop culture and how big it was. After it aired at the finale, the original music video increased by 800%, while Spotify reported 825%. Cha-ching.
It went up from 300,000 a month, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
The song, my song, to 2 million. There has been an official Stranger Things playlist created for the launch of Series 5. I actually play the clip where they perform my song in my live show. And the audience, it's such a big cheer. It means a lot to people. It takes them back with all those memories. Yeah, and of course the kids are loving it now.
One wish for Christmas, gotta be with you.
It was a real challenge to try to create a new Christmas song. I was such a fan of music growing up. Big TV show growing up was the Andy Williams TV show in the UK. And of course, and he's still my favorite crooner of that era, of that genre. So I like to think there's a little bit of Andy.
Go visit lamal.com for more info, music, tour dates, pick up cool merch, and more. And just stay connected to everything that is the wonderful Lamal.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
Lamal's musical journey is never ending, and I can't wait to see what he'll do next. And if you want to hear more of our amazing conversation, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
You know, with just weeks left until the holidays, we all have to finish up our shopping, right? Well, today, Elizabeth Warner, a child lifestyle expert, joins us to share some great gift ideas for the kids that are in our lives.
All right, well, let's jump right in with the Lego Group. This is the Creator 3-in-1 Wild Animals set. Now, this has 3 distinct builds inside of one box. So they're going to start off making a little panda family, take that apart. The next thing they'll build will be some orcas. They're really gorgeous. And then they're going to take that apart and build some penguins. They have moving parts. Once they build, they're going to be able to play with them. And this really teaches them that they have the freedom to build and rebuild over and over again. Now, when it comes to tech, Back Market. This is amazing. The world's largest premium refurbished tech marketplace. So they sell professionally refurbished tech products that have been inspected. They function just like new. They come with a 1-year warranty, so you can shop with confidence. Apple Watch Ultra 2, the iPad Mini 7, Nintendo Switch, you name it, they've got it. You're going to save money and help reduce electronic waste. Now, stocking stuffers, how about Bananagrams? This is from Moose Games. Iconic word building game. 19 years this has been around. Well, inside this banana pouch, you're going to find 144 letter tiles that players are going to frantically use to create words in their own crossword style game. It's portable. Take it with you for the holidays. Bring it to grandma's house. Everybody sit down and play together. Yes, stocking stuffer for sure. All right, so when it comes to Stranger Things, we're all obsessed. The new season, we love it. Well, there's an entire line of toys now from Jazzwares. Today I have the radio station with me. Perfect gift for fans of this amazing show. Detailed 3D environment, 3 different levels, dual-sided play, breakaway floors, glow-in-the-dark elements. There's even a portal with moving flames. Can you imagine? And it comes with a 4-inch exclusive Robin figure. So be sure to check out that entire line of products from Jazzwares. They're all phenomenal. Now, when we are ready to go shopping, we're getting down to the wire. Head to Walgreens. We know the holiday road is long, but they're going to be here for us all the way right up until. They've got festive holiday items, thoughtful gifts, personalized photo keepsakes, self-care essentials, last-minute hosting necessities, and yes, locations everywhere, so convenient. Of course, I like to shop from my couch, so they can deliver within an hour. You can order online and go pick it up within 30 minutes. Think about gift boxes, tissue paper, customized photo puzzles, gingerbread houses, stocking stuffers, advent calendars. They truly have it all. So keep the faith. Head there when you need stuff at that last minute. You can head to WernerInfo.com.
Skinny Girl founder Bethany Frankel channeled her own Michelle Pfeiffer from Scarface, and it was all to celebrate her 55th birthday. The Real Housewives of New York City alum. She pulled out 3 different looks for the celebration. She looks amazing there. Each one was inspired by Pfeiffer's glamorous character in the 1983 classic gangster film. The birthday girl completed all 3 ensembles with Michelle's signature movie hairstyle, a blonde bob.
Is that a
bangs.
mirror? Yes, it is a mirror.
Yeah, a mirror
a
bag.
Mirror bag, which you know why she had a mirror bag if you ever saw
Say hello to my
Scarface.
little friend. Yeah.
That is such a great movie to go back and look at now, just what they thought glamour was back in the 80s. It's all 80s. And then just to know that it was actually based as a remake of the 1923 movie the same day.
Did you listen, did you hear Michelle Pfeiffer on Smartless?
I have not, but she's got a movie coming out. Is that why she's on?
Yes, she is. Yes, she talks about that. But they get into Scarface with her, and I think that was the first big movie she auditioned for, and she was terrified. And I guess I think if I recall correctly, she says in the interview that Al Pacino did not want her as his co-star. And she admits she bombed the audition. She was terrible. And I think she said they called her about 6 months later and asked her to come back in and read again. And she was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not getting this part. What is the point? And it's that it's that careless, attitude. What do they call it? Sort of like this uncomfortable confidence that comes across when you have that kind of attitude. And then she said she came in and read, and it worked. There was chemistry, and she got hired.
I love it. And I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I think she's great. She's held up through the years. The only thing is that Robert Redford, when she was the news reporter.
Yes.
That was the worst movie.
That's a terrible movie.
Gosh, that's a bad movie.
Terrible movie.
Moving on now. Remember Bristol Palin? Well, she's revealed that she has a crooked face 1 year after developing a neurological disorder that causes facial paralysis. Here's what she looks like right now. The 35-year-old daughter of Sarah Palin first shared her condition back in January and said it was brought on by stress, very common, like Bell's palsy.
Yeah, is that brought on by stress
A lot of times they say he does it.
Okay.
The former reality TV star underwent a CT scan, had other tests done. She's now a mom of 3, said the process had been painful, but doctors tell her that discomfort is a sign of improvement, meaning she can feel things. That's because it just goes numb. I had a boss that I came in. He had Bell's palsy, and he said, "Well, go on," and he still has just a little bit, but he went through a lot of therapy to be able to get through that. Stress has a lot to do with this, and people do, which is a whole category of what stress does to humans.
To your body,
it's bad stuff.
So, is it something that just has to work itself out, or do you have to take drugs for it? Or
I don't know about the drugs or what they use, but I do know that in some cases, and I believe it's a little bit more than normal, it actually goes back and you don't even know that it happened, but it's still scary. Otherwise, you have some where you can tell for the rest of your life that there was something happened, but it's not as bad.
Yeah, true. But you're right, stress, it's amazing what it can do to your body. Celine Dion is also giving her fans a rare update amid her battle with stiff person syndrome. The 57-year-old singer shared some words of wisdom for the holidays. Celine emphasized that the holidays are a time to slow down, take a deep breath, give thanks. Dion was first diagnosed with stiff person syndrome back in 2022. She returned to the stage at the 2024 Olympics following a documentary about her rare health condition, and I believe that was on Apple or Prime. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was, and it, because they had her sing in there at the Olympics. I think I made fun of the fact because it's a funny name, stiff person's disease, syndrome or whatever. I kind of feel bad now because she's still moving on. She could say, you know what, I'm not. And a lot of times with people with their careers, that is what keeps them going.
Yes.
But then on the other side of that, if you get too much stress, things like Bristol Palin happens to you. So you got to be happy, right?
And it was fascinating watching this documentary because she really gives you sort of a peek into her life and her life with her sons. And obviously losing her husband was a big deal.
And she... just recently she just came out too talking about, because she got a lot of slack because of her husband and her age and his age and stuff. And she's like, you know what? Nothing happened until I was an adult. So I don't see anything wrong with it. Just leave her alone.
And she actually addresses that in the documentary. And then she has an episode and she shares it with everybody. She was very unafraid of showing you.
And and that's why I say that about when I was, but she was open about it, and didn't try to cover it up as something else. So you got to respect that.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you something good coming up.
Down in the studio, the bright lights all gleamed, despite the entire control room sharing the same holiday dream. The wires were tangled, half the scripts were torn, and that shirt Mitch chose, it should never be worn. Andrea was rapping, unwrapping, then rapping once more, muttering,
"If I lose this tape again, I am walking out that door."
Through the holiday mayhem and rituals and routines, the Flash crew kept rolling like festive machines.
So if your holiday chaos gets crazy like level 143,
just tune us right in. We're on your TV.
May your chaos stay merry. From your friends at Daily Flash. Down in the studio.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We couldn't end the show without telling you one more something good story. So check this out. A California mom was moved to happy tears on the Kelly Clarkson Show after finally meeting the volunteer baker who made her daughter's dream birthday cake during a rough chapter in their lives. Here's how that moment went down on the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Got me nerve. Oh no.
Wow. All right. So that baker, she's actually part of Cake for Kids. It's a nonprofit that delivers homemade birthday cakes to kids in foster care, shelters, or difficult home situations. And what makes this even better and even more special is that Cake for Kids is all powered entirely by volunteers who bake things right out of their own kitchens. So there's no big budget, no fancy operation, just people choosing to show up for kids who deserve to feel celebrated. They're also making sure that every kid, no matter their circumstance, gets a birthday moment that they'll never forget. And if you want to help or request a cake for a child in need, you can go to cakeforkids.org. And it's just a simple reminder that how a simple act of kindness can really change a family's entire year. And now that is something good.
Yes.
Look at these cakes that they made.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
I love this. And there is a screening process that you have to go through in order to be a baker because obviously, they don't want, oh yeah, here's a cake, eat it. Yes. So they want to make sure. But they are all across the United States. Again, it's a great organization. I think this is neat.
Cakeforkids.org.
.org.
Okay, for more information.
And you can donate money to help too.
Love that. Well, that does it for us, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. We're always online, dailyflashshow.com. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.